Hi, Bist again. Marty?
Hello again. Here we are. Now, how many of you recognise this film? They Live. Very good film. The main guy in the film, when he's got these glasses and he puts them on, he can see the zombies, the aliens, as it were, who are posing, fronting as people. And we say all that in connection with what we're going through at this time and how people are being affected through this whole pressure to have this, and how it's upsetting family members, party people. The last couple of days I've been really upset, really upset, troubled. My wife's mother, my mother-in-law, we get on reasonably well, people with their mother-in-laws, but yeah, she's a good woman in many ways, a good Christian woman as well. And it's just sad that for a year I've been talking to her about all of this. Talking, showing clips of doctors, nurses, etc. People speaking, many different YouTube clips, and yet it's literally gone in one ear and out the other. And she was talking to my wife, and she says, "Oh, I can't hide it from you. I've had the..." And my wife was really upset, but she was quiet. She didn't... Anyway, she spilled the news to me the other night, and I just went ballistic, really upset and frustrated at this, that you've spent so much time, that she almost appeared as though she would resist and stand and oppose this. Things are not right, this and that. And now it's like she's made a choice, swinged in and become like, one of them now, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, yeah. And an incident happened not long after that made me think, yeah, she has become, in that sense, like one of them. Because she was with my wife and one of the grandchildren in a newsagent, and off her own bat, the mother-in-law said to the newsagent, "Have you had the..." He said, "No, have you?" She says, "Yes." And he says, did you have any symptoms, anything?" "No, all right, all went right." And became an immediate evangelist for this. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So her excuse, in that sense, as a Christian, is, well, I've prayed about it and I feel it's okay because the Lord will neutralise it. If I pray to him, asking him to deal with it, he'll deal with it. And look, let it be according to your faith. If that's what she's got, fair play. And, but it's not just one of these, it's numerous ones. And if you have living faith, yeah, for one thing, but every time you're going to believe, it's like giving a cup of arsenic or cyanide, you're going to, yeah, keep having it, yeah. No, the Lord will spare me every time. And I just despair with it. I mean, Lee, what do you think?
It's a cult. That's what it is. And I think people are definitely being dragged into it. I think that's the power. And it's an extreme power, the propaganda and the publicity machine.
Yeah.
It's on all kinds of levels, and it's working.
Yeah.
But not with everybody. That's the thing. Like this guy here, some can see it, some can't. But it's very, 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 very powerful. We was on a bit before about these Z-list celebrities pushing it. Well, I don't care who they are, I ain't bothered who they are, they've got no relevance to me in my life.
Yeah.
But people do sit and watch the box and take these people in, and what they say for a lot of people has got clout. Now, you know, to me, when I'm thinking about taking medical advice, the last person I want to consult is some known comedian.
Yeah.
But that's what people are doing. So I think, yeah, it is dragging people in. They're getting worn out because of which is deliberate, because it's going on forever. You keep the goalposts keep moving away, farther and farther away. You're almost there, snatched away again. Keep doing it. Oh, just out of reach. Come on, just out of reach again. And it wears people down. So in the end, they think, sod it, go on then, okay, bleh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, but it is a cult.
I mean,
it is a cult. Once they've had it,
Yeah.
they start evangelising.
Yeah. And of course, you see, at this moment in time, people, yes, they may be pressurised to a certain extent, but it's still, nobody has got their arm around the back and forcing them at this point in time. Now, it may become something more horrific that even us will feel we've got to put food on the table, we've got to do something. We don't know where this is going. And so we can only say at this moment in time, you know, but I'm going to have to at some point say something to my mother-in-law, and because this is really, really a difficult situation now. And strangely enough, just last night, another relative rang talking about her mum having it as well.
Yeah.
And so the night before we had turmoil. I was waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning, tossing and turning and distressed by it all, and you know, examining your heart, that, you know, am I bitter, am I angry at her? And yes, she has a choice, but if you coax other people to have it and it harms them, then you've got to take some measure of responsibility for what you've done if it hurts them. I'm going to have to say something to her. And it's already a very tense situation. And so the trouble is beginning to come to our homes.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's, on a brighter side, a friend who I get a lift into work, he was looking for a loophole in the system to get away from a break with his missus. So they found out that if you view a property with a view to buy it, you can leave your area and go somewhere else. So they thought, good, we'll go Wales. So they arranged with the housing, whoever it was, to view a property. They put Welsh stickers on the back of the car, and they had a couple of days away. They rang round and found a guest house that would take them, despite whatever things there were, or maybe it was within the legislation, because they're viewing a property they can stay overnight. So therefore you're entitled to go in a guest house. But they did it all, got away and broke the rules. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. A lot of trouble to go to,
Yeah.
but fair play to them.
Well, I'm sure politicians have been very creative to suit themselves when it comes to bending the rules in the past.
Yeah, we've had a few
I'll
examples.
just jump in very
Yeah.
quickly. I've just had a phone call since I've been here, and it was from the agency that sorted me out with that job I told you about a couple of days ago, and I didn't get it. And I said, well, obviously, the question I'm going to ask is why, and they said you just didn't fit the profile. So it kind of doesn't concern me. Nobody owes me a living except Boris Johnson. That bastard does. I'll take my pound of flesh out of him if I can. But no, the world don't owe me a living. But I was perfectly suited to it. You know, I'm a capable, fairly intelligent, hard-working bloke, and it was putting car polish in bottles and putting the bottles into boxes, you know, so fit the profile, well,
Yeah.
look perfectly equipped. I don't know whether it's because I left that quip at the end. If it is, then I wouldn't want to work for them kind of people anyway. If you can be so straight-laced and have such a stick up your arse and be so dry, you'll reject somebody on that, then I'm not going to be the right man for you. Looks at it like that. The only other thing I will mention is I'm very careful because I'm obviously what is commonly regarded as a truther. In other words, I don't believe all the official narrative. So, and it's the information age and people do check out your social media. But my Facebook page, I mean, I make posts on there occasionally about, like they say, things affect me, and I'm part of different groups. But my privacy settings are quite tight, so I wouldn't have thought that they'd looked at it and says we would be down working for us, because everything on my page that can be viewed by the public, it's all beneficial stuff. I've put a few of my videos to show me flying. So if I can fly a bloody aeroplane and land it at night on the east coast of Florida with no runway lights, I'm capable of running a lathe or a miller or electric floor mop or something like that. So I put that on. There's a motorbike that I built out of a box of rusty bits about 10 years ago. I converted it back to better than factory condition to show that I've got skills, I'm capable, I can do these things. So it's all positive stuff. There's a couple of photos of me doing arm training to say, all right, you look at me CV and you see 52 years of age, but in actual fact I'm flexible and strong and fit. You know, probably not as much since I've been able to go to the gym. I've put a bit of weight on and so on and so forth. But I wouldn't have thought there'd be anything on social media to preclude me from the job. So we're just going to have to wait for the next one. And that's all I need to say about that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. With regard to the lockdowns, I've been thinking of certain groups of people that no one ever mentions. Well, they may get a mention here and there, but I can't remember much. Anyone ever sticking up for them or how they are suffering at this time. The first group of people, what about claustrophobic people? What about people who don't like enclosed spaces, but they're scared to go out, been put under house arrest, and so they're even more forced to stay indoors. Then you've got the agoraphobia people, scared of open spaces, scared of going out, but now even more so because the boogeyman will get them. And I know a friend whose wife's mother suffered from agoraphobia, scared of going out, got over it to a certain extent, then had the death of her husband. Now she's locked up in her house, believing every word pumped out by the mainstream media, and now has got to the stage she don't even want to see her own daughter and grandchildren, scared to death, listening for every declaration of that individual Lee's just mentioned. Yeah. So what about these people? What about deaf people? What about people who lip read? People. And they can't.
Yeah.
Because of this.
Yeah.
They can't lip read them.
Yeah.
What are they thinking? What are they feeling at this time? Who's speaking out for them? Anybody? Have you heard anything?
Well, it comes down to this thing that I discovered at Juliet Charlie Bravo, the company in Staffordshire that makes big yellow vehicles.
Yeah.
Okay? They're bothered about the law. Yeah, unless I'm actually taken to court and screwed, they're interested, brush it off.
Yeah.
They'll drop it. We'll publish lovely pamphlets about yes, we're all legal. We're like sticking to the laws, and we're not discriminative at all in this company. We're very inclusive and all the rest of it. Actual fact, it's lip service. It's bull. They'll do what I want to do. The laws don't interest them, and the law in this case is the Equalities Act 2010, which covers hidden disabilities such as mine. Now, when I was married, I ain't going to mention the young man's name, but I had 3 stepkids, and the middle one was born with brain damage on a genetic level. He got severe autism. When people say autism, they think of the Dustin Hoffman character out of Rain Man. Now, this kid, he was pre-verbal. He'd be 18 now, so the last time I saw him, he'd probably be about 13. He'd never really fully be able to converse. He could parrot words back and say yes and no, but you'd never really speak with him. He'd just make noises. Double incontinent. He'd never learn how to use a toilet. I hope that's changed at this point. I'm in no contact with the family. But he got ADHD, he had seizures, he had all kinds of problems, and when you took him out, you had to hold on tight to him and keep him tethered to him and hold his hand, and you couldn't turn your back for a second. Well, do you think you're going to get a face covering over that kid, that young man? I stick that on you. How's that going to work?
No.
You know, even stopping in the car as we went round McDonald's drive-through, distressing. Anything out of the ordinary because of the autism, it'd give him severe distress. But the people are going to say, well, make him, force it, tie it round him, tie a knot round the back, put the shackles on him, make him out wear a ball and shit. I mean, bloody hell, this is the 1800s.
Yeah.
And
absolutely, it's awful what people are going through. The last group of people was obviously, lonely people. They're only going to be more lonely. Some people who are extremely lonely, at least in years past, they could get out, go to a pub, go and do something, at least see people, mix with people, even if they don't interact too much with people. Now they're even more lonely, and this will lead to obvious despair, depression, and all the things that accompany that. So we're in February, aren't we? We're in February.
We've got about 3 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
So.
The government's just give its legislation on the coverings for children in schools. I think of an incident just a few weeks back. I was sitting on the bus, unmuzzled, and there was a young lady with a little boy sitting there. And I noticed he was just staring and studying my face and looking. He neither smiled or disapproved. He was just intently looking at me because I was the only person without a mask on. And I smiled at him and nodded. Just very interesting how children are beginning to react. And one other one that happened last year in a certain supermarket. I was doing my shopping. There was a mother with a little toddler lad there, and he looked at me. And when he saw me with no mask, he beamed and smiled. And I waved back. His mum was engrossed in me, picking what she wanted from the shelves.
Genetically programmed to pick up on smiles on people's faces.
They notice, the little ones notice, and it's affecting them. And all this has to end at some point. One quick story, how it's affecting our mental health. Lee shares continually on his videos, whether he's had a good day, whether he's had a bad day. I'm a guest who's happy to be here with Lee to share a few bits as I feel led and as he allows me to come on. And I don't share too much of my heart in that sense. I do share some things, but I'm an emotional person too. One experience, I was coming back from the bus, I had my shopping, and the bus driver, it stopped at my stop, and he turned, West Indian gentleman, he turned and looked at me. He didn't have a mask on, and he looked me in the eye, and he says, "Thank you, my friend." And I got off the bus with my trolley, took it off, and I stood there as the bus pulled away, and tears welled up in my eyes. Now, if you've not experienced this sort of thing, you'll probably think this is just a silly story, but tears welled up in my eyes, and I had to stop myself from crying on the spot, on the street. This man was genuine, and he called me his friend. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
I wiped the tears from my eyes and carried on my journey back home. We're all being affected. I don't know if there's anything else much to share. You can close.
No, not really. But it's no, we've gone through it all, haven't we? Really.
Yeah. Just one last comment on the Matt Hancock clip. Leave that.
Okay.
Matt Hancock made a comment a little while back on the film Contagion, that all the UK's strategy had been based upon that film. And in that film, with Matt Damon from 2011, you get the terms social distancing and self-isolation, as well as the masks and the various other things. So how bizarre that it's all been based on a Hollywood.
I don't think it is. I think it's foreshadowing
Yeah.
and predictive programming. It's been planned out years in advance. Part of their satanic ritual that they're playing out on people is they show you things so that when they do it to you, they can say, well, we're innocent of this because we did actually show you and you didn't do anything about it, so take it. And this is how they are devil worshippers, these people in these high positions. I personally believe, others disagree, else they wouldn't get that status, they wouldn't be allowed to have that kind of authority and power.
That's it.
I believe. So it's and it runs through the entire entertainment industry, music and everything. At the higher echelons, not the lower echelons, but it's it's predictive programming and foreshadowing. They get you used to, get you supple and easy for you to assimilate when something's happening. If you've had little film shows of it, or, for the last 20 years or whatever, because in it, well, the next one might be UFOs. They've been since well before Close Encounters, probably since Roswell. They've been getting us used to this idea, haven't they? And so, I mean, can you believe that? I'm just saying that can make you more conducive to believing something if they keep introducing stuff years previously. You've heard it before. Okay. Should we leave it there then, Mark?
Yeah. Okay.
All right then. Okay then.
God bless you.
God bless.